welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Hope you're having yourselves a wonderful morning this morning. We are here inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. Heritage Hill coming to you on 3149 Sweet Road in Pompey, New York, out in the country. You can go and see them on Palladino Farms, nestled in the rolling hills of beautiful central and upstate New York. And you can also find them at their newest location, our location for all of our on-site broadcasts with CNS, the CNS North Stars. And that is on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse, New York, right at historic Sweetheart Corner for the Heritage Hill North location. And of course, if you're traveling through the airport at Syracuse Hancock International Airport, you will find Palladino Farms right inside of our airport. And if you know Syracuse and you know our airport like I do, as I frequently am flying, there is not a lot of opportunities for restaurants and different things in our airport. So shout out to Palladino Farms for being one of those bright spots as you go through the Syracuse Hancock International Airport. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, we have an awesome show set up for you this morning. Of course, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnerships with LeMoyne and Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, we have the opportunity of bringing you specials you won't find anywhere else, conversations first, those exclusives, and those spotlights that truly take our community and give you that positive feel, give you the information that you need, and talk about the wonderful programs that are going on and the fantastic people that we have right here in central and upstate New York. Casey Filiault is going to be joining me first here inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. My special Casey Filiault is going to come to you here in the newest edition of the Dolphin Dive. This is her exclusive first interview since joining Nick DiPillo's staff for LeMoyne Dolphins women's basketball as they step into a new chapter with Nick DiPillo taking over in his first season with the team and their second season in transition from Division II to Division I. I have the opportunity to speak with the staff of Nick DiPillo. Nick has been on the show for his exclusive first conversations, and since being retained, Katie Kalinsky came on and did her exclusive first conversation since Nick DiPillo asked her to stay on staff. And now this week we'll have Casey Filiault, next week Maya Jackson to round out the entire staff at LeMoyne for women's basketball. So Casey's special coming up in just a moment in the newest edition of the Dolphin Dive here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And in hour number 2, Shawn Peake will rejoin the show. Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse Bobcats head baseball coach will be joining me. Hard to believe this, but he's stepping into year 3. I remember talking with him about this program getting started and him spending a year getting everything set up and ready and scheduling and a lot going into putting this team together for the first time ever and building that staff and whatnot. So always happy to talk with Shawn Peake, and Shawn Peake's going to be joining me today in the newest edition of the Bobcat Buzz, where we will speak on recruiting, putting those teams together, and of course we will also get into our dogs. We're going to be talking about, he has a dog that he loves very much, and you know I have Miss Lillian that I love with all my heart, so we'll be talking about recruiting, dogs, culture, family, and year 3. And, of course, we'll be playing rapid fire as we always do. So a lot of great stuff coming up here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnerships, spending hour number 1 with LeMoyne College and your Dolphins, and hour number 2 with Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse and your Bobcats inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, giving you plenty today right here in central and upstate New York. And, of course, up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the world. Very happy to be with you wherever you are. And we appreciate you so much for tuning in live, as well as those that watch and listen back once the shows are archived. We'll take a step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Once again, youtube.com, facebook.com, both /wakeupcalldt, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com is how you find us live on our channels. And of course, once the shows go live, you will find us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you got to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. We'll take a quick step aside here inside of the Heritage Hill Studios, and when Wake Up Call comes back, you will have Casey Filiault here with you for the first time ever in her exclusive first interview since joining the staff for LeMoyne College women's basketball. Central New Yorkers, you can now enjoy the taste of Heritage Hill award-winning craft beers, seltzers, and a full bar at 3 locations. Spend your weekends at their beautiful location in Pompey with its amazing views, sunsets, family, and pet-friendly facilities, as well as extensive private event areas. Get their taps, tonics, and tastes in their brand new North Syracuse location at Sweetheart Corner in North Syracuse, New York. When flying in and out of Syracuse Hancock International Airport, make sure to visit their Palladino Farms location. At Heritage Hill, they believe in supporting our community and are excited to now meet you where you're at and where you're going with their local farm-raised tastes. Find out more information at heritagehillbrewery.com.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome here to a very special edition of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. I am here in this Dolphin Dive in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the LeMoyne College Dolphins. Casey Filiault is here with us, the new addition to Nick DiPillo's LeMoyne women's basketball staff. Very excited about this, excited to break the news and share it with you, and now excited to allow you the opportunity to get to know Casey from Casey. So with that being said, Casey, how are we doing this morning?
Good, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and you and I got to talk a little bit off the air, so I got to see your personality, smile, like happy, have you always been lean on the positive side type of person?
Definitely, yeah. I think positive energy really carries over into everything I do. You bring positive energy to the court, to your players. They feel that, and they're just going to play with that positivity, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And your passion for basketball, I want to go back to the beginning for you. What brought you to basketball initially?
It's a funny story, actually. I think it all starts with Nick. I joined his AAU team, the Center Jersey Hawks, about 14 years ago when I was 11 years old. And he kind of taught me at such a young age so much about the game, and I'm forever thankful to him for that. I've learned just about everything about the game at such a young age, and he's just been there for me every step of the way.
So you said that so many years ago you joined his AAU. So that far back, when you're a kid growing up, to fast forward to today, where you're an adult and Nick is looking at you saying, I want you to be a part of my staff. I want you to be a part of what I'm doing here at LeMoyne. How surreal and at the same time kind of amazing is that to play for him so many years ago as a kid and then have him see something in you that makes him want to have you as a part of his leadership team?
Yeah, it's really a full circle moment. Since this came out, so many of our AAU teammates have been reaching out, and they're like, oh my God, like, no way, this is so cool, like, you and Nick together, like, awesome. So it really is a full circle moment, and I couldn't have been, I couldn't be more thankful. And I really run out of words to talk about it, because it really is a special moment. I can't thank Nick enough. I'm always going to be thanking Nick. I think I do that. But he's an awesome person, and he's done so much for me.
What happened in the in-between of playing for him in AAU and the moment that we're here today? Bring me into basketball in the in-between.
Yeah. So when Nick left our Central Jersey Hawks program for Seton Hall, we stayed in contact. We were always chatting, always catching up. He then got the head coaching job at Scranton, and I was playing at Kane. And when I got the GA job at DeSales, my first game was actually against Scranton when Nick was the head coach there. So again, like another full circle type of moment, and then it's been history from there.
So going up against him, what was that experience like?
He should have gotten teed up that game. I will say that. It was awesome.
Now I want to know what did he do in this game? Because the thing is, getting to know Nick, I can tell that he's got that fire. He has that passion, but he also has that just kind heart, and he's there for the people that he truly trusts and believes in. So I see this Nick where it's like you can trust this guy. If he's in your corner, he's in your corner. And now you're telling me there's also this piece of Nick that can get to. I want to know, what did he like? What happened? Paint the picture. Was he red in the face? Is this man yelling out there? Like I gotta know.
I can't remember the exact moment, but I just remember looking over there at the other time, being like, "Gee, this guy up right now." It was a close game. Like, the Scranton ended up pulling out the win, but I was just looking over, like, "Come on, give it to him already!" Like,
did they give it to him?
No, he never got it.
He never got a tee. So was he yelling and screaming? Was he just?
He was probably just saying something to the refs.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Because I feel like I can see, and I'm gonna ask you this as someone who is now on the coaching staff at LeMoyne, is there, and I ask coaches this over the years. I've asked this question, and it's interesting to get the answers. Is there a time in a game that you feel, whether maybe it's during the season and the team is struggling, or in a game, is there a time for a coach, a good time, to get a technical, to ignite a team, to let a team know I'm here for you, to show the team like, hey, something needs to change in this moment, I'm trying to get through to you? Is there a moment where it can be good to get a technical foul?
At times, maybe. I think it's also put you at a disadvantage because it can be a big point swing with the team. So you have to be careful in the moment that you do it in. But if you need that fire, sometimes it could be okay. I don't always agree it's the best way to do things. Yeah. But could be instances where it could be beneficial as well. We will try to sway away from any TSA.
Over under on Nick DiPillo getting one technical in his first season.
I'm gonna say hopefully none.
Fair enough. Having fun here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this morning inside the Heritage Hill Studios. This edition of the Dolphin Dive with Casey Filiault here with us, joining the staff at LeMoyne. LeMoyne itself, when you think about the school, obviously your connection with Nick is there, but what is it about LeMoyne that intrigues you?
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely great academic school, beautiful campus, great location. And then, again, the opportunity to get to work with Nick, Katie, and Maya, just absolutely phenomenal basketball minds, but even better people as well. But, again, back to the academics and the location, there's just so many great qualities to LeMoyne.
And, this team has had a lot of success in recent history. They have found their way to the postseason in multiple years, and in Division II being in the NCAAs, then in their first year in Division I being the second team in the NEC, 14-2 record in the conference. The only loss that Sacred Heart, who's not going to be a part of the conference, but the only loss that they took last year, 15-1, was to LeMoyne on their court at Sacred Heart. And then LeMoyne plays in the championship game in the NEC. They can't go to the NCAAs due to NCAA reclassifying rules, so they go to the WNIT as an automatic qualifier and force a team to score almost 100 points to beat them. Yeah. That's year one in D1 on top of multiple seasons at the NCAA tournament for Division II. What does that say to you about the program that you're walking into?
I just can't wait to get started and build on a success that they've had in previous seasons. Getting a chance to look at some of their games from last year and their style of play. It's just really exciting. I can't wait to get on the court with our players and just see what they're all about and bring our new style of play as well that Nick's been talking about. So yeah, again, I'm going to say the word excited a lot. This is all really exciting to me. So I'm just really pumped about it.
When you look at this moment for you and an opportunity to coach, prior to this, obviously you talked about playing the game. What is it about the sport of basketball that is special to you, unique to you? What spoke to you when it came to basketball in general?
I think it's honestly, for me, the relationships, the teammates I've made along the way, the relationships, the friendships I've made along the way as well. That's what makes it so special. Again, the people I've met through this such a special game, they are the absolute best, and I'm forever thankful to the game for that. Some of my best friends are from basketball, and it's really special.
So when you have these relationships and these connections, how do you connect with the student athletes now as we step forward? We're in a world where there's all the things that a coaching staff had to do, and on top of scouting, on top of doing different pieces, when you look at a staff in and of itself, you have to scout, you have to recruit, you have to sit down and have meetings, you're having practices, you're having workouts, and then you're playing games. Now you add in NIL, you add in the transfer portal, you add in the fact that realignment has made some interesting connections here to places. In the case of the NEC, Chicago State joining which you have a Northeast Conference where all the teams are in the Northeast, but Chicago's out in Chicago and Illinois. So with all of this extra that's come in to collegiate athletics, how do you as a coach get through to student athletes when we're living in a world that sometimes can provoke a me-centric approach of, free agency when it comes to the transfer portal, NIL, I want to make myself money, I don't care about my teammates. Some of those things are happening, and I'm not saying that they're happening at LeMoyne, but they're happening in the world of collegiate athletics. How do you get through to someone in today's world and preach team, preach togetherness, and that collective that is supposed to be there?
Yeah, I think it starts at the beginning with trust and creating those relationships. Relationships take time to build. It's an everyday process. They're not just, you can't just talk to somebody every couple of days. It has to be an everyday type of thing. Something I do with my players here at Catholic, just as they're stretching. I go through the lines with them, give them a high five or fist bump, talk to them about their day. Sometimes they're longer conversations. Sometimes they're quick. Hey, what's going on? Sometimes we get into depth. Sometimes, they really let it all out and tell me everything that happened.
Yeah.
It just starts at the beginning with trust and developing those relationships, taking time to create those.
And you said, obviously, being at Catholic, that's where you're coming from and heading to LeMoyne. So what's the experience been like at Catholic? What have you learned about yourself that can help you be a better leader as you step forward?
Yeah, I can get emotional talking about Catholic here. The people I have met here, the players I've worked with, Coach Donahue, our graduate assistant Luca, our student assistant Kat Greenhut. The people have been absolutely amazing, and I'm truly going to miss them so much. I think I've learned a lot about putting the extra work in. Our players here at Catholic, they are the hardest workers I have ever worked with. The amount of individual sessions, group sessions that we got in outside of practice, and seeing them really take their games to another level and investing in their future, to be the best versions of themselves on a basketball court. So I think that's what I've learned the most from Catholic, is just putting in that extra work if you want to be better. And really special place here at Catholic.
Yeah, we look at your time at Catholic, and to make a note here, that 2023-24 season as an assistant coach at Catholic University of America, you had a record of 26-3 as a team for the Cardinals, nationally ranked 17-1 in the Landmark Conference, and I know all about Division III, so I know the Landmark is not an easy conference to play in. It is definitely not for the faint of heart, so to speak. 17-1 in the Landmark Conference, regular season champions, conference champions for the Landmark, and you were in the NCAA Division III tournament where you came away with a victory. Bring me into this past season and being a part of that, and to really get into the fact that, I don't see divisions because I'm a Division III kid. I went to Marywood University. I got recruited D3. So D1, D2, D3, I've seen student athletes and coaches at every single division, and I have a ton of respect for the people more than the division, honestly. So when you look at the Landmark and you look at what happened this year, like I said, for me personally, I know about it because it's no small feat, because I know coaches within this. What was it like to run through this past season and have that success?
What a ride it was. We lost to two teams all year, Scranton and Washington and Lee. Both teams went to go on to the Elite Eight. So we fell a little short, but just what a ride it was. So, Landmark, like you said, it's not an easy conference. There's some really great teams in it, Scranton being one of them, Elizabethtown being another, Susquehanna as well. There's just really great talent, really great players, really great coaches. So definitely not an easy conference. We played extremely well. Unfortunately, we came up a little bit short in the conference championship game, but we still got that bid to the NCAA tournament, got our first round win, and then unfortunately fell to Washington and Lee. But it was an unbelievable season. The leadership we had this season from our players was top notch. and just super proud of the season that we had. And yeah.
And when you talk about that, you mentioned Susquehanna, one of my good friends, Gabby Holko. So
the absolute best.
yeah. So Gabby, and it was funny because I was talking with Nick, and Nick's like, "Do you know Gabby?" And I was like, "Do I know Gab? Yes, I know Gabby. I know Gabby very well. She came to my alma mater, Marywood. She was there for one season, and she turned the ship around. So yeah, she incredible, and I know she's having fun out there in Susquehanna. Another reason why I know about the landmark, but." Getting into before that, you were at DeSales for a couple seasons, 49-6 overall, and looking at 31-1 record in conference play, 27-1 record at home, and the move to the NCAA Division III tournament, getting a win in both seasons. So you're coming off of experience as a grad assistant coach with a ton of success at DeSales, and then success at Catholic. And so to get into DeSales, when you were there as a graduate assistant coach, what did that experience do for you? How did that help you be better at Catholic? How's it going to help you be better at LeMoyne?
Yeah, being a graduate assistant at DeSales was honestly a dream come true. As a player, I had never won a championship, so getting onto a championship level team was really special to me and something I'll always hold close to my heart. So being a graduate assistant at DeSales, you're kind of thrown into everything right away, which I love. Fred Richter is the absolute best, and he kind of trusts you right away to get started with just about everything, recruiting, scouting, you name it, you're doing it. So at such an early stage in my coaching career, I was doing so many things, and it was a great learning experience. Again, like you said, winning two conference championships and then advancing to the NCAA tournament, dream come true. It was a great start to my coaching career.
Yeah, and now, like you said, you're going to join Maya Jackson and join Katie Kalinsky on this staff. How would you describe initially here Maya and Katie and what you feel like this could look like?
I'm just so impressed with their playing career, their coaching career. So I just can't wait to get started to learn from them. I have a lot to learn. I know that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get to work in that regard. But again, their experience, their knowledge of the game, both coaching and playing. I'm just really excited to pick their brains and just work with them.
So as we get set here, we're going to play rapid fire here in a couple minutes where you and I get to put each other on the hot seat and have some fun with that. So Casey Filiault here with us, a new addition to Nick DiPillo's LeMoyne women's basketball staff in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with LeMoyne College, the Dolphin Dive here on Wake Up Call inside of the Heritage Hill studios. So Casey, we've spoken about the sport of basketball. To the side of getting to know your student athletes, like you had spoken about. Sometimes it's a, hey, how you doing? Sometimes it's a deeper conversation, but you talked about consistency. Consistently letting them know I'm here for you. What is your favorite part of being a coach? What's your favorite part of that interaction with student athletes? What does it do for you? What are you trying to do for them in this give and take relationship? Why be an assistant coach? Why spend all this time with the future of basketball?
Yeah, you kind of said it right there. I coach because of the relationships. So it's so incredibly important to me creating those relationships. Those relationships are going to last forever. I still talk to all of my DeSales players. I know I'm going to be talking to all my Catholic players still. So it's creating those relationships. That's really the most important part for me. Like you said, consistency. It's never just seeing them in person. It's following up through text, calls. So, yeah, it's, again, I'll say it a lot, it's all about relationships.
How would you describe yourself as a coach?
Really calm, very calm, but also at the same time, very energetic, positive. But I do like to remain calm. There's a lot going on, whether it be practices or games. So I think having that person that's a little steady is good to have.
I think you have to remain calm since you told me Nick can get heated. So, so if you had 3 words to describe Nick DiPillo, what would those 3 words be?
Honest, caring. Ooh, three. Competitive.
Competitive. What do you think LeMoyne is getting with this staff when you look at trying to build and create a positive present and an even better future to the fans, to the student athletes, to the alumni, to the community? What type of staff does LeMoyne have now for women's basketball?
I think we have great people on our staff, and people make places better. So I think you're going to get great people that are going to work really hard and take this team to new heights.
I love that. And they're on the heights is what we talked about with LeMoyne. So look at how you just slid that right in there, Casey. So right before rapid fire, I want to get into family here. So bring me into like your circle, your people, your family, the ones that you lean on when you get this job offer, the ones that you talk to, just that family aspect for you.
Yeah. So my mom and dad are super supportive. Always have been in my corner cheering for me, whether it be games when I was playing or throughout my coaching career. So my mom and dad, awesome people. You're gonna see them at a ton of games. And then my sister Alana, who just got married about a year ago to her husband Andrew. And then my grandma and Bob. They're their biggest fans. They're gonna be also watching every single game. And texting me every time before every game, like, good luck, Casey. And so that's my group right there. Yeah. And family is so incredibly important to me.
Mom, what are mom and dad's names?
Mom is Elisa and dad is Scott.
Elisa and Scott, and grandma's name?
Yeah. Nan.
Nan. So my grandparents are all up in heaven now. But I can say, I mean, obviously I have a close relationship with all of them. The closest with my mom's mom, who I call G-Mama. So I want to go to Nan here for a second.
Yeah.
What is the best piece of advice that she's ever given you?
I don't know if she's ever given me advice, but I think more just the constant support that she's always giving me. And it always it just means the most to me. You know, her favorite emoji right now is the kissing face emoji and the heart. Yeah. I get at least like 5 of those a day right now. Yeah. But she's also my mom's mom as well, so we have a really special relationship. She's the best. I love her very much.
I feel like there needs to be a new wake up call segment called Family Emojis. And we talk about the ones that your family gives the most of. Because, Nan, you said the kissing face emoji and the heart.
Yes.
What color heart? The red one? Or?
The red heart.
Okay.
Lots of red hearts, yes.
Okay. What do you get more of? The kissing face emoji or the red heart?
Right now, it's got to be like they're going side by side. It's like, you know, they're alternate. It's like, wow, it's a lot right now. There's a lot of red on the phone right now. It's a lot.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this one. If Nick DiPillo was an emoji, what emoji do you think he would send?
Oh.
Are you looking at your phone to see if he sent one recently?
He sends the laughing face emoji a lot because we're always joking around like constantly. So I think whenever I'm around him too, I'm always, you know, laughing. So I think it's got to be the laughing face emoji.
The laughing face emoji. Okay, fair enough. I don't know if I think maybe I have gotten emojis from. I don't think I've gotten any yet from.
No,
Nick.
not yet. You will.
I will. So the laughing face emoji, not a bad one to get. With that being said, we're going to jump into rapid fire. We have the opportunity to put each other on the hot seat and ask any question in the world. Could be basketball and sports related. Could be literally anything. Casey, you get to start with asking me the first question.
Okay. You know, I'm a big sports fan, so I got to go. Like, what are your go-to teams?
All right, I'm going to run it down the line here. Here we go. NBA, Toronto Raptors, since day one. NFL, Jacksonville Jaguars, since day one. Baseball, Major League Baseball, Arizona Diamondbacks, since day one. You can see my pattern that I'm not a bandwagon jumper. So I was with Arizona in 98. I was with the Jaguars and Raptors in 95. I would say, where are my other ones? So that's NFL, NBA, MLB. Soccer, since day one, Charlotte FC. They came out a couple years ago because I love the city. I love the Queen City. And I do work in Charlotte and North Carolina every year. So I'm going to say Charlotte FC for the MLS. And then WNBA is really difficult because I go back and forth. I mean, I think I know who it is. I think it's the New York Liberty, and I'm not saying that because they've done so well this season. I'm saying it because Rebecca Lobo, like, day zero, and then Brianna Stewart came from Central New York. She played basketball with my cousin Sammy at CNS.
Nice.
So, I mean, I feel like I said wherever Stewie went that I say if she went to the Liberty, I'd probably be a Liberty fan. So I feel like I'm a Liberty fan, but I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. So it's not
love
that
watching her play.
What'd you say?
I love watching her play. I've seen her play 3 times now, and all 3 of those games she scored 30-plus points. So it's really exciting to watch her play.
Yeah, no, she's incredible. And so I feel like I'm a Stewie and Caitlin fan more than anything. But if I had to pick a team, I'm still like, because I thought I was Liberty, and then Caitlin got drafted, and I was like, now I think I'm Indiana. But I still think I'm Liberty. I'm just Liberty plus Caitlin Clark, I think, is what I am.
Makes sense.
So I think, yeah, because I've been a fan of Caitlin for a few years now. I would say that NHL is the Anaheim Ducks. Literally the reason, is that I am a Mighty Duck movie fan. And so Emilio Estevez and the way he coaches and the things you learn and, you know, the flying V and all that stuff, like, I became a Duck fan because of that, and then I got to watch them win a Stanley Cup in 2007. So I think that hits my alls.
I think you covered them all, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, college football, Syracuse, my hometown. I have soft spots for a lot of places because I know coaches and student athletes all over the country, by the grace of God. But I would say Syracuse is first because it's my hometown. And then, you know, college basketball, it depends. That's hard because I have like really deep connections. Obviously, I love watching Syracuse growing up, but LeMoyne knows how I feel about them. So I can honestly say beyond doubt of anything that LeMoyne basketball, and I don't think anybody would fight me on this, LeMoyne women's basketball has been one of my favorite basketball programs in this country, at the top of the heap for, Gina was there 8 years, and then, so for 12 years now.
I love that. I absolutely love that answer. Great one.
And Katie can tell you, I was like, she said to me, because I try to come out to the games as often as I can, and she said to me, she goes, you were at pretty much every single game this past season. So I do make it a point to get out there. I sit right behind your bench, so you'll know that I'm there. So I'm definitely there. I definitely, I pick my moments, but I do talk to the refs. I do.
Not you, too.
Oh, yeah. I'll just look at Nick and I'll be like, let me know when you want me to go, because I'll do it. I hit him with a little, because they don't know me, right? And I'm behind the bench. I'm not on the bench. So I can't get a technical foul. You can't get one for me. So, yeah. Just Casey, just look at me. Just be like, do it now. We need it. We need emotion. I'm not me. I don't swear, but Let me tell you something.
Let them know. You let them know. Let them know.
I let them know, like, if we're going to call it over here, let's call it over there. And there's times where the officials, I feel like, want to be noticed. They want to be part of the game. And I feel like the best officials are the ones whose names you don't know and faces you don't remember. Because there was a game last year where an official came in and I saw his face and I was like, not again. I can't. Who did, you know what I mean? And listen, to each their own, and I appreciate the profession. It's just, you remember, and you know this, you remember the officials that, you remember the people that make those calls that are very confusing. Sure. You don't remember the ones that make the good calls. You remember the bad calls for whatever reason.
Exactly. Yes. Very true.
So I feel like Nick's going, no more officiating talk. So my question back, I can say it, Nick, I can't get fined. So my question back to you, it's such a freeing feeling to know I can speak openly about officiating. But I know so many great officials, that's why I'm laughing through this thing, because I know incredible coordinators of officiating at the Division I level, people that were doing Final Fours and championships. So I definitely know a great pedigree. My question back to you. All right, I want to know your teams.
I'm all Boston, actually, so I know that might not
Well,
be.
this interview's over. Casey, I want to thank you for being a part of the show. It's been great.
That might not be a fan favorite answer, but yeah, I'm Boston all the way through.
Okay.
Celtics, Patriots, Red Sox, and then college basketball is UConn.
So, this has been a really nice time.
Great meeting you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just cuts to black. No, it's good. My aunt, my grandfather up in heaven, Celtic fans. Some of my closest, my little brothers, they're my cousins Nico, Miguel, but we're more like brothers, Celtic fans. My buddy Jerry, who's been supporting my career since I started in 2003 at Marywood, he's a Celtic fan. So I can understand that.
Good. They're good people. They're good people.
They are. Bruins, no issues. Red Sox, we're not going to talk about it. And Patriots, UAs, or we'll have to have, we'll have to bracket out the time. 2 minutes to
I'm
discuss.
used to it.
Yeah. But I will say this.
I
I covered Drake May in college, so I am excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, I'm excited for his future. We'll see what he can do.
And I want you to mark my words here. Joe Milton III will show up, even if it's a trick play or a goal line play. He will show up this season on the field.
All right, good to know.
That's my opinion. All right, what's your next question for me?
Best place to eat in Syracuse. What's your go-to spot?
This is going to get me in trouble. So I would say, I mean, I work with a lot of great businesses, and you know what? I'll say this because I picked it for Nick is Brian's Landing. So I'm going to say Brian's Landing because the culinary artistry is really incredible, and the food looks so good that you almost are like, I want to take a picture of it, and then I want to paint a picture of it and put it on my wall. But it tastes even better than it looks. So I would say from their lobster roll to the salmon flatbread that I had to the prime rib sandwich with brown sugar glaze on it to the butter cake dessert, which is hands down one of the best desserts I've ever had in my life, and I don't typically order dessert. So I would say that if you want to go to a place that makes you feel like you're on vacation and is every bit worth whatever price you pay there for whatever you get, Brian's Landing.
All right, I wrote that one down. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, it's out in Jamesville, so definitely go check that out.
All right.
So, okay. My question back to you, if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would you eat every single day, every single meal, and never get sick of?
That's a really tough one. Because you got to think here a little bit. It's gotta be versatile, right?
Yeah.
I think I would go maybe pancakes then, because you can do a lot with it. It's not that it's my favorite food, but you can breakfast, you can eat them for every meal. You can do them differently, I guess. But it's a tough one to ask.
Yeah. I do I mix the two I love the most together. So I make like, and my dad used to do it Saturday morning. So Pops, if you're listening, he knows I appreciate it. But he would always make blueberry pancakes. I make blueberry chocolate chip mashup. So I put them together.
Yeah, you can make a dessert with them. You can make them in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Versatile.
Yeah. You can really put anything in a pancake. Literally, like anything. And see if it works. Most times it does. Sometimes you question your own reality, but I don't think people should put tuna fish in a pancake, but you can do a lot of things with pancakes. You do a lot of things with pancakes. Tuna fish should always be by itself. So,
exactly.
What is your last question for me?
What made you get into this?
I mean, similar to what you said, I love people. And I love people. I love telling their stories. I love making people laugh. I enjoy, from telling people stories to making people laugh to being positive, I set out in my life to do things the way that I do things with God at the center, and didn't realize that being honest and not plagiarizing and making sure that like my work is my work and being unique and innovative and original and being the trendsetter, not the one who like grabs onto the trend. I, I didn't know that that was atypical of the media. I didn't know that honesty, like I can't tell you how many people are like, you know, you're so honest and you tell the truth. And I was like, yeah, I feel like that should have been a prerequisite to being in the media. But I thought that's what we're supposed to do. But yeah, I mean, I just, to me, I like being a place where people feel safe and heard. And, you know, I just want to make my world small in a good way. I want to bring great people together. I want to see everybody win. And I just love being around pleasant, happy, hardworking people that challenge me. So why not?
Love that. Love that.
My last question for you. All right, Casey, let's see here. Okay. If you could be any superhero ever created, what superhero would you choose to be? And what city, I feel like I already know this, but what city would you choose to protect?
Yeah, city one I can say right off the bat, it would be Boston. But I think if I could be a superhero, I grew up like obsessed with Spider-Man. Every like baby picture of me is like posing like this. So I think I would have to say Spider-Man just for that reason alone.
I'm checking the notes that we just got here, and that is correct. That is actually the correct answer. I was Spider-Man from birth as well, and you don't know this yet, but I will tell you, I was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Andrew Garfield movie. So I was an extra, and they shot in Rochester, which is like 45 minutes outside of Syracuse, and they shot on Main Street. We shot off of Main Street. And I got to do a bunch of different things on set. I actually made it on camera in the Paul Giamatti chase scene when he crashes with the 18-wheeler. Well, the big truck that he's in. When he crashes and all of the like 40 NYPD vehicles go on top of each other, I'm coming out of the alleyway with like 4 or 5 other guys.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
But I've been a Spider-Man fan forever. And in college, I did screenwriting. I actually wrote 88 pages of a script of a Spider-Man movie that I would have done. And I've not... How do I say it without saying it? My love for Spider-Man has only increased, and I look forward to what that future could hold.
Very cool. I picked the right answer then.
Yeah, you definitely did. And I will tell people this. I love Spider-Man. I also love Venom. I know he's an anti-hero, but so cool. And I think Tom Hardy does a pretty good job. I think the graphics of what Venom looks like on screen is pretty cool. I do have some notes for Sony that I think they forgot that they own the Spider franchise, the Spider-Verse, so they can put the actual spider on Venom's chest and not these weird white gray veins. So stop doing that. And, you know, finally bring Spider-Man into it. But yeah, if you want to get me going, my entertainment show, Superpowered Pop, I'm actually doing an episode that says, why is there no spider on his chest? There's none. Like, what, you own the rights. It's like, no, we have to do the knockoff
I never really realized that.
Yeah,
I never realized that.
You think about it like, okay, when you go to the grocery store and you can buy Fruity Pebbles, and then like Wegmans has like whatever the name of theirs is, it's like colored pebbles or rainbow pebbles because they can't call it Fruity Pebbles. That's what they're doing with Venom, but they own the rights to him. Like, you have no one's gonna sue you. It's your character to play with. And then they just made that Madam Web movie, which if you didn't see it, please, for the love, I mean, I'm not going to ever tell, listen, I'm sure people worked hard on the show. I think people work hard on all this stuff. I'm not saying they didn't work hard. But they put the white spider on Spider-Woman for 2 seconds. So I said, okay, so you can do the white spider, you just choose not to. And I'm as angry as Nick DiPillo at that game that you went up against him in. That's how angry I am right now.
This is a conversation that holds close to your heart. I can tell.
Yeah. Like I'm going to tell you right now, if Sony and I were having an open discussion about not having the white spider on Venom's chest, I would get a technical foul. I will tell you that without doubt. So with that being said, Casey here with us, Casey Filiault, a new addition to Nick DiPillo's LeMoyne women's basketball staff in this edition of the Dolphin Dive. Casey, it has been my pleasure. I know this is the first one, but this is one of many. And thank you for the laughs this morning, for the honesty, and for spending some time with us. Congratulations and welcome to the Finn family officially.
Thanks for having me, Dan. Really appreciate it and looking forward to seeing you and talking with you some more.
Central New Yorkers, you can now enjoy the tastes of Heritage Hill award-winning craft beers, seltzers, and a full bar at 3 locations. Spend your weekends at their beautiful location in Pompey with its amazing views, sunsets, family, and pet-friendly facilities, as well as extensive private event areas. Get their taps, tonics, and tastes in their brand new North Syracuse location at Sweetheart Corner in North Syracuse, New York. When flying in and out of Syracuse Hancock International Airport, make sure to visit their Palladino Farms location. At Heritage Hill, they believe in supporting our community and are excited to now meet you where you're at and where you're going with their local farm-raised tastes. Find out more information at heritagehillbrewery.com. Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McNerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Brian and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here is a special message from Brian Bruno, owner of Servomation Refreshments Incorporated.
I grew up in the family business, had the experience of working for a national food service company with thousands of employees, and as much as I enjoyed the experience I had, there's something about, owning my own company and being able to change the things I saw wrong with the industry firsthand, which is why I moved back to my hometown in Canastota, New York to launch Servomation. It was back in 2007. When When we first started the business in '07, really you didn't find any machines with credit card readers. There was a lack of variety in machines. You got stuck with basically whatever the vending company wanted to sell that day. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the business, and those were all things that we saw as opportunities, both from a customer level to improve and from an operating level to be more efficient. We've really been at the forefront of introducing retail technology into our space. We were doing self-checkout back in 2009 before it really became a national phenomenon. The whole point of it isn't to just improve the customer experience. It's to make it feel more like a retail environment where people don't have to be afraid of what they're buying behind glass. They don't have to be afraid of not being able to see the ingredients of the packages. It was an easy transaction from that standpoint. If we were to reinvent something, we wanted to make sure what we were making looked and felt more like a deli and not like something that you would traditionally see in a vending machine. I was tired of hearing for years the customers say the wheel of death because the vending machine would circle around with the same tuna salad in it. What we wanted to do was it really change the perception of that food. So allowing customers to touch it, allowing customers to feel the weight of it, allow customers to see the freshness of it, and also the variety of it really helps them change the perception and ultimately the value of what we bring to them. The point of differentiation you have to make is either in value or the quality. And I think on both of those fronts, Servomation has really, in large part, changed that value system for employees. So they no longer have to worry about bringing their food from home or having to leave their desk during the day and rush out to get back in time for their break to end. We're bringing something that they can count on in their break room every day, and they know it's going to be there, they know it's going to be fresh, and they don't have to worry about it being sold out or something that they don't enjoy. We've also heavily invested in flavored water machines, so you can get a glass of water with a fresh piece of fruit in it, along with bean to cup coffee machines. So there's not a day that goes by we're not surprised when we get customers that call us and say, we didn't know you could do all this. We're really lucky to have a strong group of dedicated employees. Most of our employees have been with us since inception. They're family to us, and people like doing business with people they like and trust. And I think the same thing goes for employees. In a day and an age where there's a lot of corporations that just look at an employee as a number and don't get to know them, that's just not the way I was raised or how I like to do business. So we're a little old-fashioned. We like getting close to our employees. We like knowing how we can help them. We like knowing how we can improve their lives, adjust their schedules, whatever it may be to help improve their quality of life. And we think in the end that makes for a happier employee. We're fortunate enough to have really grown over the last several years, and from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to Connecticut, we really do have a strong connection, even though we're not in the rooms every day with these employees. There's not one single employee that we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to surprise our customers in a good way. The one thing I can tell you is I think that every one of our employees and every one of our customers will continue to be at the forefront of every decision we make.
Find out how Servomation can help you and your business by going to servomation.com. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Proud to be hanging out here with you inside of the Heritage Hill Studios, and coming in to your screen here, picture in picture, with me this morning is no stranger to the broadcast, and that is Mr. Shawn Peake, who is here with us from Bryant Stratton Syracuse. Always happy to have Shawn here on the broadcast, the head baseball coach for Bryant Stratton Syracuse Bobcats program. Mr. Peake, how are we doing today?
Hey, Danny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man, and I got to say a few things. Can you see the shirt?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gotta love it.
So here on the broadcast, as I said, the Heritage Hill Studios, of course, Heritage Hill is with you in the country as well as in the hustle and bustle of the city. You'll find them on 3149 Sweet Road in Pompey, out on Palladino Farms at the Brew House, and you'll find them at Heritage Hill North on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse at Sweetheart Corner. We are here in this edition of the Bobcat Buzz with Shawn Peake. The Bobcat Buzz comes to you in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse Bobcats. Of course, Shawn is the head coach of the baseball program. And Shawn, first and foremost, when I was doing the intro this morning, and I was writing this up last night, kind of promoting everything, I thought to myself, how in the heck are we going into year 3 of this baseball program? Do you feel that?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of surreal, right? I mean, it's been crazy 3 years. Definitely doesn't seem like it's been 3 years, but it's been. I feel sometimes it feels longer, sometimes it feels shorter, but
Yeah.
it's definitely it's kind of crazy to think about that. Yeah, we're going into year number 3 now.
Yeah, to me, it's because I mean, I was talking about this before too. Is you and I were talking with each other at least a year of going into the preparation for year one, and then having year one, and just coming off of year two, and it is really surreal from my seat. So I can't imagine how you feel to go into year three here. I know we've talked about it before, kind of lessons learned and moments that you take with you now that you've had more time to reflect on it as you head into year three. What have you learned about building a program? Because as you and I have spoken about before, there's not a lot of coaches in the world that get to say in today's world, like right now in 2024 and within these last few years, a lot of programs are set up. They've been around for 100 years, 20 years, 50 years. Not a lot of coaches get to do something so incredibly special, which is create a program. So how have you reflected on this creation? Because every step the baseball program takes is connected to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, the last couple of years, it's been tough building it and trying to build this thing up and try to get it to where I want it to be. But I think we have a good stepping stone of where we kind of left off and where we're going to get to this year. And a lot of the guys that are coming in, it takes a lot of hard work. Honestly, it just takes a grind of just being on the phone constantly, basically, and just trying to get these kids in and get them here anywhere, literally from anywhere, everywhere that we can get them from. It's about building the relationships. I feel like that's kind of been the part that I try to do a lot of is build the relationship. Now, I don't want to just be like the coach that's doesn't care about them like after baseball's over and after they're done, graduated college. That's how my head coach was, Justin Beach. That's how he was. So I want to be kind of similar to that, where take pride in building the family.
Yeah, and you've talked to me so much every time we've talked about this team, and especially our recent sit downs with you and your student athletes. It's been all about that family. It's about building something that goes far beyond simply baseball. And when you're building this family and putting it together, the last time we sat down on campus at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, you were talking with me about recruiting, this vision, the people that you thought could come here, and those people that were on the radar. Where are we at now, recruiting wise, with some of those people that you were talking about? I say that Syracuse is Atlanta, baby Atlanta or something like that. So bring me into where are we at in recruiting?
We are very much going to be Atlanta heavy, and that's totally cool with me. That's totally cool with me. We have a very good group coming in. I think it's just like I said, it's about building the right, building it the right way, bringing in the right people, making sure they're going to be coming in doing the right things. And but yeah, there is a lot of guys coming from down in Georgia. So that I'm excited about it. Excited about that. Like we had Taj and DJ on with us, before.
Yeah.
Just bringing more personalities like that, bringing up good people. And like I said, they're bringing their friends, and I swear it's like it's spreading like wildfire. Where two more of the kids down there just reached out to me in the last couple weeks here, and we're like, hey, all right, we're ready to come too. Like, sweet, even better.
And, like you said, I mean, you get one, and this is truly the story of what you tell people, that there's no number that is too small. Where there is one, there can be two. Where there's two, there can be five. Where there's five, there can be 10. Where there's 10, there could be 100. So bring me back to first getting somebody from Georgia, from the Atlanta area, how this ball kind of started rolling. Because like you said, we've spoken with some of these guys on the show, but how did this all kind of come to be? Because you're willing to go anywhere to get somebody, like you said, but how did Georgia, bring me into those initial moments of building the bridge for this program?
So I'll say it started with DJ Hill. It started, we were playing against Casanova, and obviously the school was closing down. So I knew, that was going to be on our radar. He was one of the guys that was still looking for a home for from their team that I ended up talking to. He played a pretty good game against us, and I was like, hey, I would love to have you. And honestly, since then, it's just been a snowball effect kind of with him. DJ brought in Taj, and then now all they want to do is bring in their buddies and bring more competitive people and like-minded people. They're very hardworking guys. They work extremely hard. They really do. And just the hard work paid off for them, and they want better for themselves, and they want better for the team, and they know that a bunch of their friends can help.
And like when you see the character of when you talk about Taj, you talk about DJ. I mean, we've had them on screen. We've had them here for Bobcat Buzz. Being around those guys, and you and I share this. We show our emotion, right? When we care about somebody, we show them that. And sitting with those guys to my right and you to my left, the last time that we had a conversation, you could really tell that they have love for you. They have love for each other. They have love for this program. They have love for baseball. Do you feel like you kind of, I don't want to say lucked out, because I think that, luck isn't necessarily just a random thing. I think it comes with, effort and
That's the Irish part of me. That's the Irish part of me. I'm just got to be naturally like that.
But, right. And I think, but there's something to be said about, I call them God incidences, not coincidences. I feel like when you do things the right way and you put in with goodness in your heart, and what do they say? If you attack everything with a pure heart and good intentions, you will succeed. So, I mean, do you feel like it was luck of the Irish? Do you feel like it was a God incidence? Do you feel like, hey, I just kind of was in the right place at the right time? How do you look back on the caliber of student athlete when you see DJ and you see Taj and what they bring to the table? What would you credit that to, and how it all happened?
I mean, I'm always going to give the credit to the players. They're the ones that put in the work. I'll take them to the field, do what we got to do, but they're the ones actually doing it, grinding. But no, it was probably it could be luck, it could be whatever it was. But hey, I'm lucky to have it. I'll say that, lucky to have it. I still talk to DJ and Taj pretty much daily since they've gone home. A lot of the guys, we keep in contact a lot. My guy Dylan, of course. But yeah, we talk, Colin Murphy, all these kinds of kids, just keeping that bond, kind of keeping the relationship with them, all summer, all year long, basically, just to, like I said, kind of build that family and build it up the right way, hopefully.
With them being home back in Atlanta, what's that been like for you? Are you kind of sitting here going like, where my guys at? Like, I mean, have you got, like, is the itch just kind of there? Like, all right, guys, like, I'm happy y'all are home with your family, but when are you coming back? Are you in that feeling of all like, I want my boys back here?
Oh, literally all the time. It's getting bad. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm going to watch baseball games and this and that. I'm like, man, I wish I was like watching my guys play, or like watching, practicing with them or doing something with them. Like, even Colin Murphy, so our local Syracuse guy, he just got a new puppy, actually. Speaking of our pups and whatnot, he just got a new puppy. I'll shout out Harper. So I went and met her the other day. I had to, and then I made her. And then a couple of days later, I was like, hey, man, bring her on campus again. Kind of miss you guys.
Yeah, and you and I, and a perfect segue here in the Bobcat Buzz with Shawn Peake, a Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, a head baseball coach. We are very proud dog dads. We were having a conversation off the air yesterday, and you'll bring your dog out, kind of wherever, and when there's soccer games going on for Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, for men's and women's soccer, Jones Road, you got the dog out. And, I brought Lily out there, and Lily just had her 8th birthday over the weekend on July 6th.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So let's talk about dogs here, because we talk about family and we talk about that, atmosphere, and our dogs are very much a part of it. When did you realize in your life that you just had to have a dog?
So let's see. I just went and looked at I was planning on just going to pet some dogs at Petland. Honestly, I was just kind of in the mood to go play with some dogs. And then Buster was there, and I played with him for a little while, and I left, and I was like, man, I kind of slept on it, and 2 days later I went back and got him.
So you go back and you get Buster. When you were a little kid growing up, did you have dogs in the house, or is Buster your first?
So Buster, he's not my first. We had one when I was like very, very little. And then he ended up, when we moved away, he went with my grandmother. Or she went with my grandmother, and then eventually she passed away. But I was very, very little. And no, I never was able to have a dog. I was not allowed to have one. We weren't allowed to have them in the house. So I was like, all right. Pretty much as soon as I moved out, that was one of the first things I did.
Yeah, I want to go back into that moment. You know what, Ma, Dad, do you? I'm gonna get my dog. But
pretty much, it was my birthday. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is I think now, there's really no comparison, right? I always tell people that dogs, if people could be more like dogs, if they could have that unconditional love, if they could, be happy to see you and appreciative, and every day is a new day, and they can't wait. It's the positivity, the love, the just genuine care is something that I honestly feel like God put dogs on the earth to teach human beings the things that we're supposed to know. And so now that you have Buster and you've gotten to spend this time, how would you describe being a dog dad? I have other things to this because I got a bone to pick with some people out there about the dog dad stuff, but what's it like for you being?
I don't care where I'm going. I'm pretty much taking with me. Or he's, hanging out with my family or hanging out with his other, I call them his friends. It's my dad's dogs. He's always hanging out with them. Yeah. So I take him anywhere. I love having him around. He's literally like, if Aussies, like their breed in general, they literally don't leave your side. So I basically have a shadow with me at all times, no matter what. But I don't mind. I definitely don't mind. He's only a little 30 pounds. So I don't mind my little 30-pound shadow.
And so when you say you bring him everywhere, have you done I'm going to Target, let's go to Target?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. I'll take him. I'll literally take him anywhere I want. Like, I'm kind of just like, all right, man, we're going. And sometimes I'll leave him in the car, turn up the AC, whatnot. But if I want to, like, where did we go last? I took him to the dollar store the other day.
Well, and here's my question, right? Because we live in a really strange world. I think you and I can agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
This world is unique right now. And the one positive thing that I could take from how, there's a very selfish world of I'm going to do what I want is that people bring their dogs places and they're supposed to be service animals, but like nobody really stops anybody. So right. I wanted
technically a service animal, but
yeah,
he is technically a service animal. I made him one, but anybody can make anybody a service animal.
Right. And I think the whole like emotional support and service animal and all that stuff. My thing to you is like from one dog dad to another, I want to bring Lily everywhere, but I'm like, if I don't have a vest on her, I don't want to bring her to Target and get in trouble or go to Kohl's or this and that. But then I walk by these strangers in the mall at Destiny USA as a young girl. And I was like, my mom was there with me and we stopped and we pet the dog. And we're like, is that a service animal? And they're like, no, we just want to get him acclimated with people. And I was like, aren't you like nervous that they're going to kick you out? And they're like, well, we literally just bring him everywhere. And if somebody asks us to leave, we leave. And, we kind of just walk around until somebody says you can't be here. And I was like,
walk around like you own the place.
Right. So I was like, should I just start bringing Lily everywhere with the hope that someone doesn't go, is that a service dog? You know what I mean? Like, is that
pretty much? Honestly, the dog's cute enough. Nobody's going to care.
Yeah. And Lily is definitely, Lily is, right. she knows she's cute. That's the thing. But she knows she'll look at people like, I'm sorry. Do you not know who I am? So But I mean that is a question that I've had, is like, I don't want to leave her at home. I feel bad leaving her at home when I'm running around, especially if I'm out longer than I want to be. And I've thought to myself, like, I want to bring her to Home Depot. I want to bring her here. Like, but I get that feeling of like guilt of, if I bring them in and she doesn't have like a service dog thing on, am I going to be asked to leave? And then I'll feel bad because I'll feel bad for her. And then there's other people that are like, no, I walk into like wherever and with my dog, and I just hope that people don't say anything. So I wanted to know from your opinion, your seat, if you could tell me some advice as a dog dad on what to do with Lily. Do I just bring her wherever I want and just tell people like back off, or what do you do?
I mean, that's kind of what I mean, when I go somewhere, Buster's usually, I mean, you've seen him, he barks at people, like he'll growl, but that's his way of saying hi. And then as soon as you pet him, he's the nicest, sweetest little dude. Yeah. So like if he sees somebody that he, scares him real quick or something like that, he might growl at somebody, but then they just keep moving on because they're like, wow, he's cute, and they laugh it off. And I'm like, yeah, I know, thanks. And I just kind of keep it moving. But yeah, man, just bring her wherever you want until somebody says no, and who cares? And if they say no, all right, see you later. Yeah. You don't want my business.
Well, yeah, and I feel like we live in this world of like selfish people for the wrong reasons, and I'm not trying to be selfish. I just want her to be able to enjoy life with me, you know?
Absolutely.
And I remember it was a couple of years ago, was it during COVID? I don't know. But it was within the last couple of years. There was a guy at Target. I kid you not. I have two stories, and this is what made me think, why can't I just bring her wherever I want? The first story, there's a guy at Target. He didn't have one dog. He didn't have two dogs. He had three. They were like these little Chihuahua things, and they were all running in opposite directions, barking and flipping out. And I was like, none of those dogs are service dogs. And then at Kohl's, this lady had like a 40-pound dog sitting in the cart, and she was throwing clothes over the dog, and the dog started to like bark, and she's like, shut up, you're going to get me in trouble. And I was like, so, I mean, these people just, and I feel like we live in a society where people are like, I don't care. And I do care, but I was like, if Lily and I can spend more time together out in public in this weird scenario of the world is selfish, and we can almost make it a positive by going, okay, well, if y'all are going to be selfish, I'm just going to take her to the stores that I've seen other people take their dogs to, but my dog doesn't bark and my dog doesn't bother people, and she has like a vest thing that she wears. So I'm like, I don't think anybody would bother me.
Nobody would, honestly. Nobody would. And even like, that's when, if he does ever start barking, we're out in public, I'm like, all right, dude, that's time to go. You're making too much noise. It's time to go. And that's usually when he's just restless or something like that. But if other than that, I'll just throw him back in the car and turn the AC on and go back and do whatever I got to do. Yeah. He'll be fine in a few minutes.
So you heard it here first. Shawn Peake said I could do whatever I want with Lily.
Pretty much.
Why not? So
why not?
Here's my bone to pick with the dog dad thing. And I'm sure when I say this to you, I'll get a nod. Dog moms have a lot of merchandise. When you go out, you see the t-shirts and the hats and the cards and the stickers and the stuff, and the magnets for the car. When you're a dog dad, like this had to be sent for. When you're a dog dad, there's one thing, and you better like it. It might be a sticker, but I don't know what it is. I don't know where dads got a bad rap, but if you go for any holiday and you look at the cards, Hallmark will be like, and no offense to Hallmark because they make good cards, I'm just making an example here. If you go to Target on before Christmas, there's 2 dad cards, 75 mom cards. There's mom happy, mom blank, mom religious, mom from both, mom from son, mom from daughter, mom from in-laws, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff with mom, which is great. I love my mom. And then it's like dad funny, dad like regular card, dad religious. You have 3 choices. Have a great day. Dog dad, same thing. Dog mom, here's the display. You go to Cracker Barrel, t-shirt, hat, sticker, like keychain. Dog dad, one tiny little sticker. Why, Shawn, are dads getting a bad rap?
I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe they just don't like us as much. I guess I don't know.
I
It's interesting though. Now that you're making me like think about it, I have definitely have seen more of that stuff. I'm not sure why.
I was like, somebody at Hallmark had like a bad dad who like left when they were 4 or something like that. You know, I was like, I remember just what I went one Christmas. I had to go to 4 or 5 places to get my dad a Christmas card that was like somewhat respectable. Like it said something good in it, something worth buying. But the dog dad thing, and it's gotten a little bit better, but you know, it's like to find a shirt like this, send for. You go walk into a store, dog mom, proud to be a dog mom, picture of a woman with a dog mom life, eat,
It's all the
pray,
license plates.
dog, like, you know, license plate, bumper stickers, all this stuff. You know, my dog's cooler than you, my dog's my heart. And then it's like, dog dad mug. Get out of here. Like that's it. I hope you guys like the 2 mugs that we have here. I hope you 97 fathers are going to fight over these 2 mugs and this one sticker. But like, I just wanted to know if you noticed what I noticed, that dog dads, like normal dads, we get hated on a little bit in this, you know, in the merchandising world. And I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting take right there.
So I think if you and I want to make a little side hustle, we just create some dog dad merch.
You might have to. Might have to.
So here with Shawn Peake, Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, a head baseball coach for the Bobcats. I want to stay with dogs here for a second. How has Buster changed your life?
Oh, in so many ways. Just like we were kind of saying, just the love that, you know, they show and have for, you know, just waking up every day, and I get literally jumped on and like a paw to the face literally every morning. So that's how I get woken up with like, all right, man, it's time to wake up. I'm like, all right, let's go on our walks. I mean, honestly, he's probably kept me in better health, honestly, too. Being more active. We walk six miles a day at least, like after I get out of work. So all night long, we're pretty much just walking if I'm not doing anything. Yeah. And then when I am going to do something, I'm bringing him with me. So it's just keeping him active, keeping me active. Just even learning, you know, more responsibility kind of stuff, you know, got a life to take care of kind of thing. Like, hey, if he didn't eat, then, hey, you have to feed him. He's not just going to eat on his own. You know, making sure he's got cold water or something like that. But he has changed my life in a lot of ways. And my family, definitely the same thing, where they're a huge help with taking care of him for me when I can't, you know, I'm on the road or doing something. And we always, you know, try to take care of each other. And my dad has 2 dogs, so I always try to take care of their dogs as well. They do a lot for Buster. So Ginger, Max, love them just as much.
Yeah, and I got to shout out my mom and dad because they are a huge help. And it's funny because, you know, what I do for a living out in the public all the time, and so people know Lily. And I'll have like total strangers are like, so like, where's Lily right now? Like, what's Lily doing? I'm like, y'all need to back up from my life right now. So it's like, don't worry about what Lily's doing, okay? But yeah,
I get that on campus all the time. Everybody wants to know what Buster's doing, where he is, where he's at, because I'll bring him on campus whenever, just to bring him on for 20 minutes and let him run around. And we're not really supposed to have dogs on campus, but like everybody always seems to enjoy him. So,
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like we brought my dog Shady. This is the first time I've been a dog dad, but you know, I've had my brothers and sisters, and so Shady, we would bring her to the nursing home, and we would go visit my dad's mom. Yeah, my dad's mom, my Gammy Miller, and we'd go see her. And when we went to go see her, there would be all of these people, families that were visiting, as well as, you know, other people that were at the nursing home. And she was a light to so many of them. And she would literally just walk around and like meet people and just greet everybody. And, you know, people love that. They, you know, they're sitting there. Some of those people, nobody visits them. They're by themselves. Mm-hmm. It's a horrible situation. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, and I hope it changes for the better. And so, like, petting her and spending, like, 2 minutes with her, 5 minutes with her, it was, like, the only visitor that they had. So I think I think with all of the things that have become okay in today's society that are not okay, and all of the negativity that has crept into it, I think having a dog on a campus or in a coffee shop or at Target, I think that like that's not a concern. So it shouldn't.
No, right. Actually, I actually kind of thought it was kind of like a good thing for last year, where a lot of the guys on the team, they had dogs. And, once you're getting through a college season and you're in the middle of it, and, it's long days, you're at practice, you're at school, you're doing whatever it is, and they're just long days. And, you miss your dog. So I would bring him in probably like once a week, maybe like every other week, to either like practice real quick or bring him over to the dorms and just hang out with the guys and try. So a lot of our guys live on the same floor in the dorms. So I basically just let him loose in their dorm rooms and just said, all right, boys, go have some fun. And we just kind of run around, throw the ball with him down the hallway, stuff like that. But I think it was like a good, like, kind of therapy dog for them last year. I think it helped. Definitely a couple of them were really like asking me, hey, when's he going to come in? When's he going to come in? Because they were missing their dog.
Yeah. Well, and, and I think, and it is, I mean, it's important to have that, that love and support. When you do miss your dog, I remember when Shady passed away, we saw another soft-coated Wheaton, and it was a male, and Shady, female, but still, like, to see the face. My mom got emotional, my dad, me, and we just, like, asked the person. They were walking out in Beeville by the water, and we're like, hey, can we pet the dog? Is that okay? And they stood with us for, like, 20 minutes and just kind of like let us, talking to my mom and dad, and we're petting their dog, and it was like a sign that Shady was there. And the funny thing is, Shady would always lick my face, and this dog, like, who obviously resembled Shady, he would look at me and he'd lick my hand or my arm or something, but he would not lick my face, and he'd like look right at me and not lick my face. And I just got this feeling of like, he was sent to us to let us know she was okay, but it was like Shady said, "Don't you dare lick his face." so you go talk to him, but you can't lick his face. But,
oh, trust me, I think if another dog tried to jump on me or something like that, I think Buster might go nuts and try to take him out.
Yeah, Lily is she's very much, and I tell people, I said, listen, she is a human being. I cannot take credit for how smart she is. I don't know. And I don't know if you've ever had osmosis with Buster, but I tell this story, and this genuinely happened. I was in my house and I'm upstairs brushing my teeth. Lily is on the couch looking out the window. She can't see me. I can't see her. I'm brushing my teeth, and I had opened her kennel, and I call it her, go to your big girl bed. We call it the big girl bed, and she knows what it is. So I'm brushing my teeth, and I didn't say anything. I had a thought, and my thought was, oh, I got to get ready to go soon. I should probably have her get in her kennel. I hear her jump off the couch. She comes up the stairs. She looks in the bathroom at me, and then she walks away, and I was like, there's no way. And I look, she goes into the bedroom, and she opens the door, and she gets in, and I was like, did we just talk to each other telepathically? And I don't know if you've ever had a moment.
They're too smart.
Yeah.
They're so smart. It's crazy. This is just something stupid, but like, so I take him for walks in my neighborhood. We go all different routes, all up and down every different street, just because he knows where every single dog lives in that neighborhood. Every single window, every single house, he will literally jump right up to the front door, basically, because he knows that a dog lives there, or he's seen it one time. I didn't even know. One dog scared the crap out of me the other day. I didn't even know it lived there, and he started barking at it. I was like, wow. We've been down this street maybe one time in 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's uncanny. They say that a dog has that within their nose that they can essentially create a blueprint. And so, and I'll be this is the crazy thing. So I'll be walking with Lily, and I'll just say to her, I'll say, take Daddy home, take us home. And she will start walking, and she'll go down this street and down that street and and it's like wherever we are, because we don't take the same path, we'll go different ways. Wherever we are, I'll go take Daddy home, and she will literally just direct herself back, and she'll make the right moves, and she'll get us back to the house. And I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? Like we could be 4 blocks away, and I'm like, go ahead and take Daddy home. And we'll turn around, and she'll start walking, and she's like, all right, I got to take a right. I got to take a left. I got to go. And I'm like, this is crazy to me that she kind of knows where she's going.
Same. Yeah, no, literally, if I can't tell him, if we're on a walk and I say, let's go 3 times, he knows that means to run home. So like if it's ever raining or something like that, and I say, let's go, literally say it 3 times in a row, he will take off full sprint, and he knows exactly what to do and where to go.
Yeah, it's awesome. What we're saying this morning on Wake Up Call is that why can't people be this consistent?
Yeah, right.
Right, you know? But no, in all honesty, to all of the dog dads out there, don't be ashamed to call yourself a dog dad. Be proud of being the father of your dog. And to the people that create dog dad and dog mom merchandise, you're like 90-10.
We need more.
Yeah, you're 90-10 dog mom. We need to even this thing out a little bit, show some love for the dog dads. Culture and environment in this edition of Bobcat Buzz. When we talk about dogs, we talk about family. And also when it comes to team, you always talk about family. Not saying that you're a family, but actually being one. How would you describe the culture of Bryant Stratton Syracuse baseball when you started to the culture that it is going into year 3?
Well, I think this year is going to be a whole. I think every year is going to be a different culture. It really is. It's based on personalities. It's based on who's in the room. It's based on who's going to be around us, who's going to be supporting us. We're going to have new assistant coaches this year. We're going to have all new players this year. Not all new players, but we're going to have new, old, guys that have been here now for 3 years. Then guys that are going to be here for 2 years and 1 year. And are those guys that the 3-year guys? Are they going to be the leaders of the team, or are they going to be just a part of it, or how are we going to be that? How are they going to know? They know how I want things done. They know when we get there, as soon as we get to practice, to look at the practice plan, start stretching, start throwing, doing your daily drills, and then we'll talk. I don't need to talk to you before practice. They know how I like to do things. They know what we need to do, how we get the day going, all the little intricate parts. I got to know what they're feeling that day as well. I need to know what, they need. Do they need extra swings? Do they need this? Whatever they, could possibly need on that day. And they also need to know, hey, where my process is this, and they know I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I have to be kind of consistent with it. And keeping them accountable and having them hold themselves accountable is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I feel like every team and any team I've ever been a part of, if coach is the one that's really holding you accountable, then you guys probably aren't really having a good season. If everybody else on the team and the players are holding themselves accountable and saying, hey man, that's not how we do things here, that's usually the better way, where I don't have to tell them anymore, where they know that what's right and wrong, and they can kind of figure that out with themselves.
And you said that, culture obviously with who you have in the room can change, but what are the foundational kind of pillars for you? What do you want every single season to stay the same when it comes to Bryant Stratton Syracuse baseball? If things change based on personality, the house still has to stand, right? So what are the pillars of your program that can't change, the things that you want to make sure you have?
I mean, it's always going to come down to the players being hardworking and just being willing to go above and beyond, not for me, but for each other. Really, that's what it's about. I can, lead them in the right direction, I hope, but for them, it's really about the players coming in and just really working hard and caring a lot about each other. That's the biggest thing, is actually caring about what you're doing daily process. And that means going to class, going to the dining hall, going to hang out with your friends, going somewhere, just being a good person. That is always going to be something where if you got to be willing and able to come in, work hard, care about what you're doing, care about your teammates, care about everything we have going on. And I always ask them, so basically there's 24 hours in a day, and how long do we get to practice every day? We get 2 hours, pretty much, right? So all I'm asking for is 2 hours a day where we lock into each other and don't worry about anything else, no other distractions, don't worry about whatever's going on in your family, friends, anything like that. Don't worry about it for 2 hours. give it your all for that 2 hours, and then we can worry about whatever life's got thrown at us. And that's usually what I'm going to try to be consistent with, of just showing up every day and working hard.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you're taking something that, you know, when I worked at Disney, and granted Disney is different than it used to be, and Lord help us, may it come back to what it was. But when I was working at Disney, they said something similar. They would look at us, our managers, in the morning. They would say, if you just broke up with your girlfriend, that doesn't exist here. You got a problem at home? That's not happening here. You got to study for a test? That's not. They said, once you step on stage, none of that stuff is going on. When you're done, when your shift ends, you can think about that, you know. And it didn't mean we don't care. It was when you go on stage and you walk out there, the moment that you come from backstage to on stage and you're walking around Epcot, you know, when somebody comes up to you and says, hey, can you help me find the Guardians of the Galaxy ride? You're not sitting there crying over your girlfriend just broke up with you. You got to lock in, and for the amount of time that you're here, we need your attention. We need your focus. You have a job to do. And it just made me think of that when you said, hey, we got 2 hours to practice. I need you to lock into this practice, and I need you to let everything else be out here. And you can deal with it later, but right now, we're not doing any of that.
Right. We're all going to have to deal with it at some point. But if, hey, you know, it's college athletics at the end of the day to me. And this is one of the things I love most is college athletics. College sports is the best to me. And just having the ability, I know where, you know, when I played, and that was, hey, you have to show up at practice. You have to be attentive. Do you want to play? Do you want to, you know, get better? And that was a big thing for me going to college was I wanted to go play baseball. I wasn't just going to go to school. And so I knew I had to, like, it was not saying it is a job, but at sometimes it kind of becomes a job. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of time that you put into it. And if you're going for just 2 hours a day, sometimes that might not even be enough. Yeah. So that's why I try to ask them, hey, you know, if we can just lock in for this 2 hours, and I don't want to make it like a job, but hey, I'll help you deal with all your problems after practice. But let's just get through this practice, and so everybody else can focus, because I don't want to have one guy, you know, straying everybody along and say, okay, hey man, you know, I'm kind of lacking behind today. Well, no, we the rest of us need you over here. So I just try to make them lock in for that little while and give me their all for that little while, basically.
Do you feel like here going into year 3, do you feel like you have helped to facilitate a culture that you are getting, if someone acts up or somebody's doing something that's not what you want for this team, do you feel like there are student athletes that have become an extension of you that will look at that guy and say, hey man, that's not what we do here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we're going to we had a few guys graduating that, you know, we're definitely those type of guys that were here for a couple years. But definitely towards the end of the year where I won't say I took a step back or anything like that, but there was a couple times where boys will be boys, and you kind of just have to let them be boys at times and just let them handle it and see how they handle it. And then, you know, if I have to step in at a certain point, obviously I would. But there was a couple instances last year where I was like, okay, let's just see how this plays out. And, you know, I'm a competitive guy. Trust me, especially when I was playing, my teammates know if you weren't doing whatever that right day, I was going to let you know about it. And I didn't care. Honestly, I was super competitive. And when I was playing, that was all I cared about, basically. We wanted to win. That's where it come from, is winning culture. And I want to continue to have that winning culture. And I could definitely see it with a few of these guys, leaders on the team, right? You need the leaders to step up. And I don't want it to be just the leaders, where I want it to be everybody. It should be the last guy on the roster should be able to tell the top guy on the roster, hey man, that's not how we do things.
Yeah, you know, and I agree. You know, I think culture, consistency, positive consistency in culture is something that you need, and it should have nothing to do with playing time. It should be everybody knowing this is what we do, this is who we are. Everybody wants to be on the field. Everybody wants to hit. You know, this guy wants to be top of the order. This guy wants to be on the mound. You got 3 catchers. They all want to play. So living in the world that we live in today, where there's this instant gratification that people think happens, like I wake up in the morning and somebody hands me money and I get a trophy. That's not how real life works. How have you dealt with student athletes of the instant gratification of like, everybody wants to be on the field, everybody wants to pitch, everybody wants to catch, everybody wants to be, the top of your order? How have you dealt with that?
That's probably one of the things that it's going to probably take the longest to like really learn. And I feel like it's just a process of over time, every kid is going to be different. So every kid is going to have a different personality. Everybody's going to have a different situation that they're not, they don't like, and they're not always going to like me. But at the end of the day, my job's not for them to always love me and like me. It's to do the right thing for our team. And that's what I'm always going to try to do. And yeah, there's definitely been some guys that have in the past that, want to have a meeting and say, hey, why am I not playing and why am I not doing this? And sometimes that's the tough conversation. I want to be as real and transparent as possible. But obviously you're not trying to crush the kid and hurt his feelings or anything like that. You want to, like I said, build up a family, not crush your family down. So it's trying to, hey, you need to work on this thing and and that thing, and maybe that gets you on the field a little bit more, and just putting in extra effort. But it's definitely like a tricky situation with everybody, wanting everything basically, and feeling like they should get it handed to them. But at the end of the day, like I kind of said, if you're not going to be willing to work for it and come in here and work hard, then you're probably not going to get the opportunity that you want. That's going to be anywhere. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to, you're not going to put in the work. You're not going to get what you want out of it.
Yeah. I mean, plain and simple, right? If you want to get something out, you got to put something in. Bobcat Buzz, Shawn Peake, Bryant Stratton Syracuse, head baseball coach for the Bobcats, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Heritage Hill Studios and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse. Shawn, before we jump into rapid fire, your Yankees, your thoughts on, this team came out and Garrett Cole's not playing for all these games, and the question is, how do they win without their ace? Do they have enough pitching even with their ace? And then they end up having the best record in baseball, better than the Phillies, top of the AL, top of all 30 MLB franchises. And then Garrett Cole comes back, and I told people, I said, there's this weird thing of like, when a superstar's out and they come back, sometimes it negatively affects the dynamic, not like on purpose, but it's like the team caught this groove and they're doing their thing and whatnot. Garrett Cole comes back. They lose that game as a close game. I think it was like 7-5, but
yeah,
he was in it, right? He was doing his thing. And then, the Yankees have gone through some injury stuff. It's, Anthony Rizzo and some different things going on, and lose 14 of 18. Then they come back and they have a tremendous game against their rival, 14-4 against the Boston Red Sox. Ben Rice makes history in something that's never happened before in all of New York Yankees lore, which is 3 home runs by a rookie in a single game, and it's against the Red Sox, and it's in a game where they win by 10. So painting all of that picture, going into the All-Star break, who are the Yankees right now?
I still like them. I still absolutely think they're top 3-4 teams in the league. Absolutely. But I still, they need to get healthy. They just need to get healthy. That's the big thing. Stanton was hot. Rizzo's hot. And that was, Riz was starting to just get back on track, I feel like. But the injury bug has definitely got a couple of them. And then, Clark Schmidt going down on the mound as well. He was pitching amazing. I think the injury bug just got him right now. But we'll see what they do with the trade deadline. I feel like there's got to be something coming.
So, question about their future. Trade deadline's July 30th, so we got some time. Juan Soto, is he a Yankee long-term? Second part of the question, Pete Alonso, does he move from Queens to the Bronx?
I think Soto is a Yankee for life.
Okay.
And I don't see Pete being a Yankee. I would love it, but I just don't see it happen.
Okay. So what if you could, like, any move that you think is actually logical, Like
I
not
want Vladdy.
you want who?
Vladdy. I want Vladdy from the Blue Jays.
Okay.
Put him at first base. Put him at first base and see what happens.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. I actually just got one of his cards. I'm a fan. Actually, I think I have his rookie card that's a PSA 10 or 9 or something like that. It's a 10. I am a Vlad Guerrero fan. I am a Vlad Guerrero Jr. fan. So you want the Blue Jay to stay in the AL East and become a Yankee?
Yes. That would be amazing. Every time he plays the Yankees, I mean, he crushes. He's having a great year too. And everybody's, they got to trade him. They got to trade him. Sure, you want to trade him? Let's give him. I would say this: Gleyber Torres. See you later. Gleyber, Vladdy, trade him up.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at them right now. They are the Blue Jays, 16 games out of first place. They're in last place of the AL East. They're 41-50. The Yankees have rescinded their lead in the AL East, which they've carried for so very long this season. They are 3 games behind the Baltimore Orioles. My Diamondbacks have been doing some things, man, and getting a series win over the Dodgers. Christian Walker, all-star.
East.
But, Christian Walker
That's a snub. That's a big snub right there.
So that
was a bad one.
My question to you is that Christian Walker, was it a snub? I want to know why. And second thing is, the Diamondbacks heading toward the All-Star break, do you think that they can make it back to the postseason?
So you're probably not going to like this one, but if I don't get Vladdy, I want Christian Walker.
Oh, okay.
I think that man is an absolute star, and I really think that if they're not going to get back in it, they might have to sell him for while he's high, while they can get a lot for him, or they're going to have to lock him up forever.
Okay.
Because that dude's an absolute star.
But you definitely think that. And by the way, we did the side-by-side on Monday. Christian Walker, and I can't take credit for the graphic that was put up on social media, which I appreciate. A bunch of different people shared it on X, but the former Twitter. But I do have to say, if you look at the side-by-side, Pete Alonso and Christian Walker, Pete Alonso, who was named
Christian Walker's having a better year.
An all-star, yeah. Christian Walker
He's having a better year.
In every single statistical category that was there, the 10 of them or whatever it was.
Everything.
Christian Walker does not trail Pete Alonso in a single category. They were tied in stolen bases, but everything else leaned on the side of Christian Walker. So I know you said it was a snub, but I'd love to go a little bit deeper into it. Every team gets a representative, and Ketel Marte, obviously he should be an all-star. He's a starter at second base. But what are your thoughts on Christian Walker?
He should absolutely be there. He should be starting. If not, I don't know. I guess not over Bryce, obviously. Bryce is probably Freddie, but still, he should be there over Pete at least. I know, Pete's a big name. He's in the big market. Everybody's going to vote for him. But how do you not put that guy in? Especially my thing was wondering, too, where the manager actually gets a couple picks. He can bring a couple people with him. How has Torey Lovullo not put him on the roster yet? Yeah. That doesn't make sense. And I've even heard an interview, I think yesterday or the day before, that Torey Lovullo was saying it was a big snub that he's not on the team. Well, my man, you can just put him on the team.
Yeah, I mean and the other thing, the backdrop of all this is that the Arizona Diamondbacks for this All-Star break have to travel to the land where they lost, and that being the Texas Rangers down in Arlington, Texas. The irony is I will be in Arlington, Texas exactly a week after. So the All-Star break is happening next week. Well, the end of this week into next week, the All-Star game at the early part of next week. And then the American Athletic has their football kickoff happening the week after. And I was like, and I understand people traveling this and that, so you don't want to do it on the same week because you want to get 2 weeks of people coming down and you don't want people fighting over hotel rooms and this and that. But the fan in me is like, why couldn't we have done it the week before? And then they're like, you would go to visit the team that you know, and listen, I'm an impartial broadcaster. As a fan, any Texas, and we got trade night going on tomorrow at the Wildcat on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus. If you want Josh Jung or any of these guys that I got, if you would like Texas Ranger cards, I got some nice ones, and I'm having a friggin' flash yard, whatever you want to call it, get it out of my house sale, because I don't want any Rangers. And I have said this, and I love children. I am an uncle to many. I love them. I love my godson, Noah. And so I say this with love for kids, and I want you to know my kidding, but then like the feeling behind it. If I walk by a child's birthday cake and it had a Texas Ranger logo on it, you got to hold me back from putting my foot in that cake. You really do.
That's like me going to Boston. I've been to Boston a bunch of times, but I'm not like it's beautiful. The stadium's great, but like I'm still gonna get started. I've actually gotten booed out of Fenway for starting a "Let's Go Yankee" chant.
That's awesome. I love that. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, it was me and one of my best friends. We were two of my best friends. One's a Yankee fan, one's a Red Sox fan. We were all together. And me and my buddies started a "Let's Go Yankee" chant at an Astros Red Sox game, and yeah,
that's awesome. I love that. So they really didn't expect it. So
no, because it was Astros Red Sox, so they absolutely had no idea that was coming.
I can just picture them when they boo you, and then like you've been out of the stadium, and they're still talking about it an hour later, and they're like, "Oh my Lord, yeah, I know. What a wanker! Are you serious? That guy comes in here and he's going to talk to us like this? That's
It was probably Evan. It was probably Evan Reynolds.
Yeah, because Evan is, Evan and I agree on so many things. But when he said Red Sox all day, I said, man, in the comfort of my own home, dude, you can't.
Yeah.
My grandfather, my dad, you like, but see, I grew up anti-Braves because they were playing the Yankees in the World Series and they were like going toe to toe all the time. So I grew up anti-Braves with my dad and my grandpa, but their trio of pitchers, when I was growing up as a kid, like I said, I was like, I don't like the Braves, but I love their pitchers.
Right, you respect them. You always got to respect the good ones. I actually went to their Hall of Fame induction for all three of them.
Oh, wow.
And Bobby Cox.
Yeah, no, the Braves definitely have had a lot of talent.
And your boy Randy Johnson.
And Randy, by the way, I don't think I've said this to you, so I will share it today. I went to Game 3 of the World Series with my dad. We had never been to Arizona, had never been to their ballpark, and we got an opportunity to go out. I had been to a Diamondbacks game in Toronto, but this was my first one at home. I felt like my entire life, I felt like a coyote roaming a land. I felt like essentially I was a coyote that was left in, what's that TV show? Oh my goodness. The one that came out, not Borderlands, but the one that was, it's a video game, and I can't think of it right now. Josh and Anthony need to help me on this. But there was this TV show that they just made based on a video game. And I got to look it up because now it's like, now it's going to bother me.
Oh, good.
So TV show based on video game. It's Fallout. So
okay.
So I've spent most of my life as a since the Diamondbacks came out in '98, I've been a fan. So I've spent the majority of my life like a coyote roaming like Fallout, the video game. When I went to Arizona and there was 30,000 people all cheering in the same direction as me, I looked at my dad and it was almost like finding out that like I was raised in the wild by animals and then finding out that I'm a human. You know what I mean? Like and at the end of the game, it was uncanny because, there's fans that turn on their team. At the end of the game, we lose game 3, 30 some odd thousand, 40,000 people were walking out. We're like, just like everywhere, people just walking downstairs in like these just rows and rows of people. They start cheering, "Let's go D-backs." Then another person's cheering. then they're yelling and they're going, we got this. We've done it before. We've been down before. Yeah, we love our guys. Yeah, we love this team. And I looked at my dad and I go, so this is what it's like to have somebody support a team even when they lose? Like, this is weird. You know what I mean? Because I've been around fan bases, and they know who they are, that as soon as their
Syracuse.
team loses, oh man, they suck. I hate them. The next week they're like, yeah, you know what I mean? And
Welcome to Syracuse.
so
Literally, that's all Syracuse University is. Come on now, that's how they all are around here.
to me it's like, that's insane. So I said to my dad, I said, I honestly feel like I'm in like some parallel universe where things are like the opposite, to come out of a game where a team loses and they were cheering as loud as they were cheering in the game. And it was amazing. The experience was great. I absolutely loved it. And, you know, I love my Diamondbacks. I miss it. At the end of August, though, they're doing a first 30,000 people in the stadium get a replica National League ring. And I told my dad, I don't care if it's 150 degrees. I have to be at that game.
That's cool. No, that's cool. That's definitely going to be something to, like, memories forever, right?
Yeah. So let's jump into rapid fire. Shawn Peake, Bobcat Buzz, our exclusive multimedia.
Hold on, I just got one little quick shout out that I got to make to my guys. So,
yes.
So my assistant coach, Coach Bakwa, he is now going to be coaching Team USA for the Latin American US. I think let me get the whole name here right, because I want to make sure I get this thing right. Where we got the Latin American, US Latin American Baseball Classic. So he'll be coaching Team USA with his son on the team, Tyler. So Tyler's 18. He's going to University at Niagara next year. So I definitely got to shout out my guys. So Team USA head coach, got to absolutely love that. So I'm rooting for my guys. I'm going to be locked in to rooting for the USA, and hopefully get to watch some really, really good baseball.
Yeah, congratulations, and much appreciation, much respect. I'm happy you made that note. God bless to you all. Be safe more than anything. Have fun. And I hope
they're heading out to the Dominican, so I'm jealous. They get to go to the Dominican for a week.
Yeah, and listen, that's the world of baseball. You know, it's like, oh man, I got to go to the Dominican Republic. Poor me. So congratulations. Right? Have fun in the Dominican. Play some good baseball. Get some victories. And more than anything else, God bless. Stay safe and make some awesome, awesome memories. Bobcat Buzz with Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse. You know it is exclusive to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. Shawn Peake, baseball head coach, hanging out with me inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. Let's get into rapid fire. You got the first one.
All right, let's see. What's like? I don't want to say like, don't say who, but what's like the most awkward interview you've ever had? Like, what happened there?
Most awkward interview I've ever had. Okay. So, very well-known quarterback. Very well-known. And went into the road locker room. They said we could talk with this guy. I've never interviewed him before. And I asked him a question that I thought made perfect sense. And his response was not sensible. And so I said to this quarterback, I said, you're going up against this defense. You play this defense twice a year in division in the NFL. What can you say about the personnel this year comparative to last year? Like, how has the personnel grown or changed? He said, I don't understand. I asked it again, and he said, well, I don't play on this team, and I don't know how I'm supposed to know that. And I was like, I just asked you as a quarterback how the secondary that you see every year has changed. How is that a question that you can't answer? And he just kind of brushed it off and moved on. So that to me made no sense. What's up, Peyton Manning? But so,
he wasn't giving up any information. Come on now.
I was like, Peyton,
he's too smart for that.
My guy. I support you like crazy, Peyton. Come on now.
Funny.
So
he's the best.
Yeah, I was like, Peyton, you see this Jaguar secondary all the time. He's like, I don't know what you're asking me. You're asking me about their personnel. I'm not on this team. I was like, okay, Peyton, you know who they are because you're throwing whatever. So yeah, so that was fun. It was interesting. But on NFL Network, I was standing right next to him. So when they showed the stuff on NFL Network and they like had his interview afterwards, I was like, oh, sweet. Like, that's literally where I just was. My question to you, what is the most awkward interview either you've experienced or you've watched happen?
I mean, I can't say I've been interviewed that many times other than with you. So maybe just with you. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks, Shawn. It's so weird. The feed dropped. We're gonna go to a commercial break now.
No, I mean, I've definitely seen. There's definitely some funny ones. That's kind of why I said it, because I was watching some like funny, stupid videos last night of just like people getting interviews and just stuff like that, like the street interviews where people just come up and say the most ridiculous random stuff.
Yeah,
I think those are kind of comical.
Is there one? This is 1B. Is there a sports question? And you and I know that I don't ask these, but is there a sports question that you feel is like such an easy, like I don't want to give you an example, but is there a question that you see media ask where you're like, why? Like one of those reoccurring ones.
How'd you feel out there today? Why? Why? You're going to get the same answer from the dude. It's going to be, I felt good or I felt like crap.
Yeah.
And if he had a bad game, he's going to say, I feel like crap. If he did well, I feel great. I had a great day. Well, yeah, of course. How'd you do out there today?
Yeah. Which is the same.
Exactly it.
Which is the same to me of how does it feel to win a championship? Terrible.
Oh yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, right.
I hate it.
What are you supposed to say while I'm pouring champagne on my own head? Yeah, it's terrible.
And I'm a person like the pregame, the postgame, like the on-court or on-field pregame, postgame, and midgame interviews. They're always these generic questions that provoke almost no answer, and I can't like first and foremost. And I'm a media, like I'm somebody who is interviewing people all the time. I am anti like break interviews. I'm anti halftime interview. And I'm going to tell people why I'm anti halftime. Because if you're up, you want to get in the locker room and talk to your guys and girls about how you stay up. If you're down, you want to talk about how you get up. And to me, 2 minutes with you is 2 minutes I'm not in my locker room with my team. So and the questions go nowhere. And it's like the coach gives you almost no answer. We got to keep doing what we're doing or we got to change what we're doing. That's what you always hear. But I don't know how you feel about that, but like the halftime interview where there's or the in-game, they're like, hey, we're with Mark Few of Gonzaga Bulldogs. We're in the Final Four, and we're in the Final Four. There's 7 minutes left to play, and there's a timeout, and they're like, Mark, how do you feel about the game so far? And I'm like, bro, is he like, this is a timeout? Is he not coaching right now? Like,
right.
I'm waiting for a coach to go, talk to me after the game.
Yeah.
Like,
and then they'll get fined.
I'm literally baffled when there's like 3 minutes left, you're down by 8, and they talk to a coach during a media timeout. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Crazy.
And Coach K.
That's what media timeouts are for.
Yeah, it's like if you get a media time, you get more time. So I don't know. I see, but I also look at media differently, where I respect the coach. Unless a coach isn't completely I'll still respect the coach. But if a coach is disrespectful consistently, I don't need to talk to that coach. Like, Go have a great day. Enjoy your life on an island by yourself, because that's where you're going to end up. But I have respect for the game, and I'm not a selfish person. And I know, like, I'm going to talk to y'all, but nothing inside of me, as close as you and I have our relationship, nothing inside of me is going to go up to the fence and like be behind the fence and you're in front of the fence in the fourth inning of a game and go, yo, Shawn, you got a minute for this live feed? Like, I would never do that to you.
I can imagine doing that to Clay. Either just go up on the sidelines. Hey man, just come over here for a second. I think he would probably look at you and be like, "What? What are you doing, buddy?"
Hey, Clay, I know that there's 27 seconds left in the game and you're down by 2, but with these last 3 seconds of your timeout, how do you feel right now? So,
You'll get the players start yelling at you.
yeah, hey, but those I don't understand those interviews. They don't make sense to me. What is
I like the interviews that I love that are the player interviews for baseball during the game, like when they're mic'd up. We'll have it during the All-Star game, but every inning there's probably going to be a different guy mic'd up. I think that's cool, but as a player, I feel like that would be ridiculously hard to try to talk and focus on, especially Major League Baseball. Like actually, the one guy I recently saw, I don't even remember who it was, but he was mic'd up and he made an error and like swore on mid TV because it's just how it was. And I'm like, man, that's got to be pretty tough. And he's probably not going to get mic'd up again, but.
Well, my thing is like, I like to make people laugh. So I have comedic things that go through my head all the time, and I have music. So I feel like if I was out in center field playing in the All-Star game and I was mic'd up for like, I don't know, the first few innings or something like that, I feel like out of nowhere you'd hear like, I can't get no. Like I would just
right.
I'd just be doing stupid stuff out there, and I'd be like I'd be bobbing my head, and I would be like, did anybody ever ask Chick-fil-A why they put the pickle on the sandwich? Like, I feel like I'd just be saying ridiculous stuff to try and like get in people's heads and mess with people. And I'd be like playing with the fans out there and stuff. And some people might love it, and some people might be like, what is happening? You know what I mean? But if I was playing, like if I was close proximity, like if I'm a cornerback and I'm mic'd up on a wide receiver, I'm going to be talking trash, but like in a funny way. I'm going to try and get him to laugh to the point where he like misses a step, and I'd be like, gotcha. So like I'm sure people would like it.
It's all about playing the game.
Right. I don't know if he would like it, but I would like it.
Absolutely. That would be fun.
So what is your second question for me?
All right. So let's see. Where are you traveling next, and where are you going? What's on tap next?
Arlington, Texas.
Oh, that's right. All right. Yep.
In Charlotte, North Carolina. I have the AAC kickoff and the ACC kickoff, and I love them both. I love going there. I've been doing it for many, many years, but they started doing it on the same week. So the only thing I would ask for these two conferences is just do that.
Spread them out.
Spread them out, because the ACC's 4 days now and the Americans 2, and I give love to both and respect to both, but it's hard to do all 4 for the ACC in order to make sure I handle Texas. So so I'll be in Texas, and then I'll be in North Carolina.
Hot weather.
And yeah, dude, I'm excited though.
Absolutely.
I love this time of year, and I will do my very best to, in some way, shape, or form, cover going into this season. And I already got a bunch of stuff like ready to go in pre-planning. But between those two, because I cover the whole country in college football, but between those two conferences alone, I will do my best to bring you coverage of 31 institutions. So I'm excited. It's a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of work, but I love it. God knows I live for it. I'll be up at 3-something in the morning writing questions because I just love what I do. My question back to you, Mr. Peake, if you and I could go on an all-expense paid trip from Nick Dimitrievsky, thanks, Nick. If Nick said, y'all go on a trip.
He's got it. He'll take us.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, listen, I saw that high roller at Taste of Syracuse. So my thing is, if we got an all-expense paid trip from Nick Dimitrievsky, where do you think you and I should go? Dogs welcome, by the way.
Dogs definitely welcome. Then if it's all expenses on Nick, I would say we stay in the U.S.
Okay.
But we go to all the remaining ballparks that we haven't been to.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's going to take us all over the map.
I love that. I love it. See, Nick, did you hear that? I asked a question for Shawn to pick one place, and Shawn was like, no, I'm going to pick like 20. So, but I like that.
I only have 15, no, 13 or 14 more to go to. So it's not too many.
Hey, let's make it happen. I'm all for it. Nick, I can help you with the all expense paid trip. All you have to do is fly Shawn down to meet me in Arlington, and we'll start in Texas.
We'll bring Alex along. He'll pony up for it too.
Oh yeah, there we go. Greg's, there you go. So see, and I want Alex to know, since he listens and he'll ask me, why did you say that? Why did you do that? Griggs, I want you to know on record that I did not involve you in paying for anything. That was Shawn. Shawn did that.
He deserves it. He just got back from Bahamas, so
that man gets to travel the world. All I know about, Alex Grigorita and Nick is they will recruit from anywhere, and they are not ashamed to go out there and where
do you think I got it from?
Got some luxurious places, man. I know.
That's what they told me. Hey, there's athletes all over the world. I was like, all right, we'll see what we can do. I'm hoping to, knock on wood here, we're hoping to have a kid come in from the Netherlands, actually.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yep. Hopefully.
In today's news, Dan Tortora becomes an assistant baseball coach, and his first trip will be to Puerto Rico, the Dominican.
Hopefully, we do have a couple guys coming from the Dominican again.
I love that. What's your last question for me? What do you got?
All right, so we always got to tie it into food. So have you been? So in Arizona, at the ballpark, there's always some type of crazy food. Did you eat anything crazy at a ballpark, like in Arizona, or are you going to go to Arlington next week or wherever? What's the best ballpark food I guess you've ever had?
That's a good question. I love that the Wildcat is at the Syracuse Mets Stadium now, because I just love the Wildcat, and we've been together 8 years this August. So, I'm going to give Danny a shout out because their food is great. I don't talk about something unless I'm all about it, and I'm all about the Wildcat. So, best fried dough in Central New York, fight me on it. I don't care. And then I would say I didn't get anything crazy in Arizona because honestly, when we were walking around, it was hard. I was looking for something unique, and I wasn't really finding like a place. And my dad and I wanted to get into the merchandise, and there was a long line for it. And by the way, Lily has the only one left of an Arizona Diamondback shirt. I just want to let that be known. So, I'm not going to go to the World Series and not take care of my girl. So, yeah, I don't think I had anything crazy at Arizona, but I think if I had to pick, like, in my mind, what should you get at a ballpark? I think it's got to be some like tricked out chili dog.
Okay.
I think
a dog's always the way to go.
I think it's got to be hot dog, chili. I like my chili to have some sweetness to it. So hot dog, chili, cheese, just throw some, just like give me a real good chili dog. I would rock with that. So if I had to pick, I'd probably say that.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
My question back to you, food-wise. Okay, if we came out with the Shawn Peake meal available at all of your local Wegmans, what would be the Shawn? It's got your face on it. What is the Shawn Peake meal?
I eat pizza way too much, so it's probably going to have to be some type of pizza. Probably like a buffalo chicken pizza or like a buffalo chicken burger, something like that.
Okay.
Like a buffalo chicken burger sounds pretty good.
Buffalo chicken burger with Shawn's face. Amy Brodus said, "We love Buster." Kathy Burton said, "I am joining this trip."
Trust me, she'll be the first one. We were thinking about going to another ballpark soon, so that might be happening.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely.
That's my mom, by the way.
What'd you say?
That's my mom, by the way. It's happening right there.
And I didn't even know this, so.
That's my friend's mom, and then that's Kathy's my mom.
Yeah, so Kathy, I know about Kathy, but I did not know that Carol Burton. I didn't know that you guys were related. I've known Carol because she used to be a server at multiple places that we would go to for breakfast after church every Sunday. And now she's at Twin Trees. And I have known Carol forever. And she's like, yeah, I was looking at your stuff. And she's like, do you know that that I'm related to Shawn? And I was like, what are you talking about? So shout out to Carol as well.
Yeah, my stepdad. Yeah, it's my stepdad's step aunt, I guess.
Yeah. So shout out to Kathy, to the whole family. Shawn Peake, Buster, of course. Bryant Stratton Syracuse, head baseball coach. Talking about a lot of things today in Bobcat Buzz. Shawn, as always, I appreciate your time. We got plenty more great things coming up here. You and I will talk soon. Your student athletes have already reached out to me and said, when are we coming back? So we'll figure out some time for the Bobcat Buzz, and I appreciate your time as always.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.
See you. That coming from Shawn Peake one more time here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life in Bobcat Buzz. Today, you got our exclusive LeMoyne coverage and our exclusive Bryant Stratton Syracuse coverage. Yesterday, you got our exclusive Binghamton University coverage. So in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnerships with these great institutions, we have the opportunity to tell the story in such a unique way. And we thank LeMoyne, Bryant Stratton Syracuse, and Binghamton for believing in our message and how we do things differently on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. We'll take a step aside from the Heritage Hill Studios and wrap up the show right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday weekly from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5. Make sure you head out to GG Cards and Breaks for all of your sports card and hobby card needs. You could find so many different things there, from basketball, baseball, football, as well as hockey, all sport, AEW, UFC, soccer, and Yu-Gi-Oh!, Disney Lorcana, Pokemon, and more. All at GG Cards and Breaks. They are literally your one-stop shop for all of your sports card needs. They have boxes when you collect your cards and you want to make sure that you have them all put together in a safe space, or if you're going to take your cards and bring them to trade night, bring them to a show, you got to get a box so you can showcase them. You have the boxes of all different shapes and sizes. You have the one-touch cases, the different sleeves for your cards, including the sleeves for your cards that have the relics in it, like pieces of jerseys and whatnot. You can also find all different top loaders, binders, and the pages for those binders. Everything at GG Cards and Breaks. If you've never collected before, you're going to have everything you need. If you've collected before, you're going to have a ton of awesome things to add to your collection. GG Cards and Breaks is different for all the right reasons, and that starts with Josh and Anthony. A big time thanks to their incredible team at GG Cards and Breaks, our sports card and trading card shop of choice here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And of course, we'll see you this Thursday, July 11th, when GG Cards and Breaks heads to the road to the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. GG Cards and Breaks Trade Night on the road is in Camillus this Thursday, July 11th, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the Wildcat, 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank you for being a part of an awesome broadcast here this morning. I cannot thank my guests enough for making it as fun as they have. Big time thanks to you and to everybody all around the country and the world that's with us Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. Of course, once the shows go live, they jump into the archives, and you can hang out with us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, and others. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. You can also ask your Alexa or Google Home device to play the latest episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and they will do that for you as well. Many thanks to our incredible partners that you can visit in Central and Upstate New York: Heritage Hill Brewhouse, Heritage Hill North, Carvel DeWitt, where today and every Wednesday you can get a buy one, get one Sunday, and that includes the DT Dolphin, the only home of our LeMoyne Dolphin-inspired Sunday is at Carvel DeWitt, right down the road from LeMoyne College. You will find them on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. When you go to Carvel DeWitt, you can get the DT Dolphin any day of the week, and on Wednesdays, it's BOGO. You can buy one, get one. So bring somebody you love, go on a date, bring mom and dad. Well, if you bring mom and dad, you got to decide who's getting the free one. That's the only thing. So when you bring whoever you would like to bring to Carvel DeWitt on Buy One, Get One Wednesdays, make sure you go in there and get the DT Dolphin 2-for-1 on Wednesdays, and of course, available all throughout the week. The Wildcat Sports Pub, Avacoles, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Bryan's Landing, Great Lakes Honda City, Mother's Cupboard, where we have our very own sandwich, the Cuse McMother. The Cuse McMother is my creation. I want to thank Pete, Amy, and the team at Mother's Cupboard for allowing me the opportunity to have my breakfast sandwich exclusively at Mother's Cupboard on 3709 James Street in Syracuse, New York. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. You can get the Cuse McMother, bacon, egg, and cheese inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Pick it up and eat it like a sandwich. Cut it up and have it with some syrup. And of course, if you eat it like a sandwich, you could still dip it in the syrup. So have the Cuse McMother the way you like it at Mother's Cupboard. Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. If you want to know why I call it the snack capital of the world, go and see them today. GG Cards and Breaks, Pizza Man, Servomation Refreshments, revitalizing and reimagining the world of vending at schools as well as businesses and places all over. So big time thanks to Servomation for changing the dynamic of walking in, looking at a machine, and seeing those sandwiches and those different items that you can get. Servomation Refreshments, in my opinion, is doing things differently in great ways and changing the entire experience of vending. So shout out to Brian Bruno and his team. The LeMoyne College Dolphins are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You will find your Dolphins every single Wednesday during Dolphin Time, like today. And during Dolphin Time, you will find conversations with student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni joining me here where sports meets life. And of course, those Dolphins are available to you 24/7 by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also make sure that you look for the LeMoyne playlist on our YouTube channel. You can also find the Dolphins by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to LeMoyneDolphins.com, and as always, fins up. The Bryant Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bobcats every single month right here where sports meets life in what we call the Bobcat Buzz. And the Bobcat Buzz, like you heard today with Shawn Peake, is exclusive to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, featuring men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and esports, as well as the leadership of Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, who has two campuses, one on James Street in Syracuse, New York, the other right off of Route 57 in Liverpool across from Avocolis. You can find the Bobcats by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our BSC Syracuse playlist. You can also find the Bobcats on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Join the Bearcats on Wake Up Call every single Tuesday during Bearcat time at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, with monthly specials including Moments with Marshall, featuring Binghamton University Athletics Director Gene Marshall telling the stories of Binghamton from behind the scenes, and the Bearcat Break Room, where you get to learn about student athletes, coaches, and administration as they tell their unique stories and connection to the Bearcat family. You can find all of the Bearcat information, all the Bearcat shows, by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Binghamton playlist. You can also find the Bearcats on wakeupcalldt.com and underneath the exclusive partners tab, as well as on the homepage. For more information, go to bubearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank my incredible guests inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. Big time thanks to the debut of Casey Filiault on Wake Up Call, as we've had the opportunity to be the exclusive first interview since Casey accepted a position as an assistant coach on the staff of Nick DiPillo for the future of LeMoyne College women's basketball as they head into year 2 in the transition from NCAA Division Division 2 to Division 1. Big time shout out to Casey Filiault, and thanks to Nick DiPillo for helping to make all of these connections. And of course, a big time shout out to Shawn Peake, Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse head baseball coach, heading into year 3, and a shout out to Buster, his dog, as well. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. And as always, as we always tell you here on the show, I appreciate you tremendously, and God bless. No stress. Do your best. We'll talk soon, and stay safe, everybody. Be good to each other, and be good to yourself.